First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Akim and you, Aquat, that believe in all sincerity. So as you see here, the title of this article, New Florida Standards Teach Students that some black people benefited from slavery because it taught useful skills. Florida's public schools will now teach students that some black people benefited from slavery because it taught them useful skills. Part of new African American history standards approved Wednesday that were blasted by a state teachers union as a step backward. The Florida State Board of Education's new standards include controversial language about how slaves developed skills which, in some instances, could be applied for their personal benefit. According to a 216-page document about the state's 2023 standards in social studies posted by the Florida Department of Education. Okay, and here's a picture of so-called Negroes, okay, which are the biblical Israelites. And the caption on the bottom says, formerly enslaved people at Fowler's House in Cumberland Landing, Virginia, circa 1850. And I'm going to read certain parts of this article. You can read it yourself when you get a chance. All right. It says the Florida Education Association, a statewide teachers union representing about 150 teachers, called the new standards a disservice to Florida students and are a big step backward for a state that has required teaching African American history since 1994. How can our students ever be equipped for the future if they don't have a full, honest picture of where we've come from? Florida students deserve a world-class education that equips them to be successful adults who can help heal our nation's divisions rather than deepen them, Andrew Spar, president of the union, said in the statement. Let's see. Governor DeSantis is pursuing a political agenda guaranteed to set good people against one another. And in the process, he's cheating our kids, Spar said. They deserve the full truth of American history, the good and the bad. The new standards were defended in the statement as comprehensive and rigorous instruction on African American history. We proudly stand behind these African American history standards, the statement said. The intent of this particular benchmark clarification is to show that some slaves developed highly specialized trades from which they benefited. This is factual and well documented, it added. It says the statement continues. Some examples include blacksmiths like Ned Cobb, Henry Blair, Lewis Latimer, and John Henry, shoemakers like James Fortin, Paul Cuff, and Betty Washington Lewis, fishing and shipping industry workers like Jupiter Hammond, John Chavis, William Whipper, and Crispus Attucks, tailors like Elizabeth Keckley, James Thomas, and Marietta Carter, and teachers like Betsy Stockton and Booker T. Washington. It's disappointing that some detractors would devalue the research from the work group and reduce it to a few isolated expressions without context, the statement said. Okay. And the statement they're speaking about is a spokesperson from the Florida Department of Education. Okay, on Thursday provided a response to NBC News questions through a statement from Dr. William Allen and Dr. Francis Presley Rice, who are member of Florida's African American History Standards Work Group. And that's just like Esau to, have some so-called doctors, all right, to solidify their stance, right? And the doctors come with you know, so-called facts, right? Some Jakes were blacksmiths, others were shoemakers, others were fishing and shipping industry, okay, and tailors, teachers, and truth be told, you do something enough and you're gonna be good at it, okay. And Jake is the former of all things, so Jake excels, okay. Jake is innovative, okay. But it's interesting how the Florida Board of Education want a new curriculum. Okay, they want to teach how slavery, actually benefited, some Jakes. Okay, but some state teachers said it was a step backward, and it's not teaching the full truth. Okay, of American history. Okay, whether it be good or whether it be bad. Let's continue. I think there was another little piece here that I wanted to get. Right, check this out. It says here, it's disappointing that some detractors, right, the those that are against this new curriculum, would devalue the research from the work group and reduce it to a few isolated expressions without context, the statement said. And these are a few, okay? A few Jakes that, actually got some notoriety, okay, in slavery. Most Jake was just slaves, okay? Like, look at this picture, case in point. A lot of Jake just served hardcore slavery. Some stood out, but that doesn't mean that Jake benefited. Okay, how could you benefit from hardcore slavery? You see, you know. Let's see. So that was basically it. Okay, that was basically the article. You can read the rest. Basically, they want to teach. They want to teach Jakes that they actually benefited from slavery because it taught useful skills. All right, and this is the mindset of Esau. Always shifting the blame, never being accountable, and that's what they've always done, and that's what they will continue to do because they are the wicked. Okay, but and ultimately we know why they want to erase history. Okay, because they're trying to offset the prophecies. Okay, they're trying to basically hide. You know, the scriptures say that Cain would be a thief and a vagabond. Okay, when you go to that word vagabond, it's one who hasn't been brought to justice. So they are their forefather Cain. Okay, Esau. Okay, so let's see. This is Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Okay. Let's get this word homeborn.
Strong's H 1004. Bayeth. Bayeth.
Let's see if we can get a simple definition for homeborn. Whoops. Let's see. Homeborn, home produced. Okay. Home. Let's go back. House, house dwelling, habitation, shelter of abode of animals, of says human bodies figuratively. The CSB. Okay. Is Israel a slave? Was he born into slavery? Why else has he become a prey? Okay. And that's what they want you to believe. Okay. They want you to believe that, Israel was just born into slavery. Okay. And who actually had shackles on their hands and their feet. Okay. Who actually served another nation, the Israelites. Okay. And who are those people? Okay. Today, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay. But they will hide this information from you. Okay. Just like they're trying to hide, okay, the history. They don't ever want to bring out the truth. Okay. But these are questions. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? And that's something that blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelites have to ask. Okay. Were we just born to be servants? Okay. Were we just born into slavery? Why, okay, is our people, okay, in this position? You see? Let's get this. Let's see. Baruch chapter 4. And 6, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies. You see? And this is in the book of Baruch, which a lot of people say is not canon. Okay, it's not valid. It's not divinely inspired. But who were on those auction blocks? Okay, those were Israelites. Okay, so-called Negroes. All right, as well as the Latinos and the Native Americans. Okay, the House of Israel all went into slavery together. Okay, and unless you've been sitting under a rock, okay, our people were sold. Okay, they make movies about this, but see, them erasing this history will forever skew, okay, the truth. Okay, but see, the Lord has put the Spirit upon a remnant, okay, of Israelites that are going to tell the truth. Okay, we were sold to our enemies. Okay, and who were we sold to? We're sold to Edomites. That's just of a truth. Okay, whether people want to accept it or not, we were sold to Edomites. Okay, which are so-called white people. Right? This is Baruch 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations, and not only to Edomites, but to the other nations, the other heathen. Okay, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies. You see, so this is clearly stating that those nations, our enemies. Okay, we were sold not for our destruction, okay, but for a lesson. Okay, and we learned our lesson. Those that have come to the spiritual awakening, okay, that you see today, you know that we move the Most High to wrath. Okay, he can put us into slavery under another people. Okay, this has not been done to other nations as people say. This has only been done, okay, to the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, the Native Americans. Right? For ye have provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. For ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. You see, we forgot the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, therefore the Most High sold us to our enemies, the other nations, mainly Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. We forgot the law, statutes, and commandments that was given to Moses, okay, to give to the Israelites. Okay. And this is what they hide from our people, okay, that we're the biblical Israelites. And it's evident. Okay, it's evident. It's being made clear, every day. The light's starting to shine more. It's making sense. It makes sense why they would want to hide this truth, okay? Because Esau's always running from the truth. He is a vagabond. He has yet to be brought to justice. We'll get this. Ezekiel 39:21, and I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathens shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. You see? It says, all the heathen shall see my judgment. All the heathen have not seen the judgment of the Most High. So this is a prophecy that is going to happen. And my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Israel shall know that I am Yahweh, their power, from that day and forward. Okay? So when that day comes, the Lord's going to make himself magnified in the earth. Okay? And the Israelites are going to see this. They're going to see, okay, they're going to see the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, judge the heathen, especially Esau. We'll get this, Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speaketh in righteousness mighty to save. Okay? Who is this that cometh from Edom? That's talking about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay? With dyed garments from Basra. Okay, Basra was a chief city in Edom. You see? Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. Okay? That's speaking of what? Yahushai coming to destroy the Edomites. Okay? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. So this is a great slaughter. This is a great destruction coming upon Esau, Edom. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You see? The day of vengeance is in the Lord's mind. Okay? So going back, Ezekiel 39:23, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. You see? It's being made known, and it's going to be clear as day when, Yahweh Shai comes and starts to destroy Esau, Edom. Okay. And when Jake starts to see all these Edomites being destroyed, it's going to be made known. Why? It was for the violence against their brother Jacob, because to be honest, we're brothers. Jacob was it not? Is it not written Jacob and Esau? We're brothers. So the house of Israel shall know that I am Yahweh their power from that day forward, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. It was for our iniquity that the Most High put us into slavery. Okay, mainly at the hands of Esau, but also the other nations, because they trespassed against me. Therefore I hid my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. So the Most High hid his face, you see, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. You see? So, it had to happen. It had to happen like that. We had to be punished for our iniquity, for our disobedience. It says, according to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. And see, and that's where the curses of Deuteronomy overtook the nation of Israel. And we speak about this constantly. That's why we're in the position that we're in. You see, because it was according to our uncleanness, according to our transgressions, that the Heavenly Father did this to the nation. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, now I will bring again the captivity of Jacob and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. So he's going to turn back the captivity of Jacob. The whole house of Israel is going to receive mercy. After that, they have borne their shame, and we're bearing our shame to this day. And all the trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwell safely in their land, and none made them afraid. Let's see. Right. Yeah. And we're starting to, we're taking accountability now. That's why we're coming back to the truth, okay, of who we are. Teaching our people the truth, okay, that they're Israelites, that they have laws, statutes, and commandments, and that ultimately we're going to dwell safely in the land of Jerusalem. We read that in Baruch. Okay, ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. You have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. So that's what Jake doesn't know. Okay, that we're from Jerusalem. We're not from Africa. They keep saying African American history, but really it's Israelite history. It's in the Bible, and because of the separation of church and state here in America, they're not going to integrate the Bible into the schools. They'll never tell you. So this about saying that slavery taught us benefits is really it's blasphemous. Okay, we went into hardcore slavery, man. Okay, it says, when I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. And see, this is what's happening now. And it's going to be perfected, okay, until the time of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're going to be brought from out of the people and gathered out of the enemy's lands, because Israel was scattered across the four corners of the earth. So the seed of Israel is going to look like the other nations, because they were scattered. You see? But the Heavenly Father said he was going to separate. Okay? The wheat and the tares. It says, then shall they know that I am Yahweh their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. It was the Lord, okay, that caused this to happen. Okay? It was the Lord that caused us to be captive, to be slaves, okay, in these different lands, okay, and the land that perpetrated slavery right in front of the world is America, okay. We were at the footstool of the so-called white man, but I have gathered them unto their own land and have left none of them any more there. You see, so we're going back to Israel, because we are the true biblical Israelites. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith Yahweh thy power. You see, the Lord's divine influence has now come upon the Israelites. And that's why we're bringing this out, because it is true. It is true. We went into captivity because we moved the Most High to wrath. You know, he caused us to be put into the hands of the heathen. And the heathen are not going to tell you the truth of who you are. Okay? We'll read this again. Florida's public schools will now teach students that some black people benefited from slavery because it taught them useful skills. Part of new African American history standards approved Wednesday that were blasted by a state teachers union as a step backward. And it is a step backward, because they're not telling the truth. They're not telling, they're not telling the youth that they're Israelites. Okay, and see, that's not convenient for Esau. Okay, he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want you to know who you are. He doesn't want you to know who your power is. Okay, that he's the Hebrew God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Shai. He doesn't want you to call on those names. He doesn't want you to know. But see, this is what we have to shed light on these, of what's going on in the news. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Akim and you, Aquat, that believe in all sincerity. Shalom.